But power isn't given, it's taken, earned, ripped from the hands of those too weak to hold it. And if you're not willing to do that, if you're not ready to take what's yours, then you deserve to be crushed beneath the weight of those who are. Harsh, maybe, but the world is harsh. Life doesn't care about your dreams, your feelings, your excuses. It only respects those who refuse to break, those who refuse to kneel, those who understand that the only way to survive is to carve their own path, no matter how many rules they have to break along the way. They'll tell you to be careful, to slow down, to think about the consequences. But here's a secret: the ones who win don't hesitate. They don't second guess. They act decisively, without regret, because hesitation is death. It's a crack in your armor, a moment of weakness. And in this world, one moment is all it takes to lose everything. So let them call you reckless. Let them call you ruthless. Because the ones who tell you to slow down are the ones who want to keep you behind. The ones who tell you to be patient are the ones who fear what you'll become if you stop waiting. And when they finally see you rise, when they see you take what they swore you'd never have, they'll call you lucky. Lucky. As if you didn't bleed for every inch. As if you didn't fight for every breath. As if you didn't burn for it. Let them call it whatever makes them sleep better at night. You'll know the truth, because at the end of the day, there are two kinds of people in this world: those who watch and those who act, those who dream and those who do, those who beg and those who take. So tell me, which one are you? They told you to be patient, to trust the system, to wait for your turn. But what if your turn never comes? What if the system will to keep you exactly where you are? Think about it. A cage isn't just made of bars. It's made of rules, expectations, and fear. And the most dangerous cages, they're the ones you don't even realize you're in. But once you see it, once you truly see it, you can never unsee it. The illusion shatters, the lies unravel, and suddenly the things that used to keep you in line, they mean nothing. The guilt, the fear, the shame, tools they used to control you, to keep you small, to keep you in place. And you almost fell for it, didn't you? You almost believed them, almost let them clip your wings, almost let them convince you that power was a dirty word, that wanting more made you greedy, that fighting back made you a villain. But here's the truth: they only call you selfish when they can't use you anymore. So let them talk. Let them spread their little rumors, their little lies. They are afraid, and they should be, because for the first time you are not apologizing, you are not waiting, you are not playing their game. And that terrifies them, because they were comfortable when you were quiet. They were safe when you were obedient. But now you are something else, something they cannot predict, something they cannot control. And there is nothing more dangerous than a person who has nothing left to lose. The moment you stop fearing them, the moment you stop needing their approval, is the moment you become truly free. Because fear is their weapon, doubt is their poison, and guilt is their leash. But you have no leash, you have no master, you are no one's pawn. They wanted you weak. So they told you that kindness was a virtue, that turning the other cheek made you good, that suffering in silence made you noble. But tell me, have you ever seen a wolf apologize for hunting? Have you ever seen a storm regret the destruction it brings? No, because nature does not care for morality. Nature cares only for survival. And in the end, that is the only law that matters. So forget the guilt. Forget the shame. Forget the rules they built to keep you in chains. Take what's yours. Own your power. Embrace what they fear. Because if the world insists on calling you a monster, you might as well show them how monstrous you can be. They'll write my name in blood and ash, whisper it in fear when the lights go out. but they'll never truly understand. They'll blame me for the ruin, as if it wasn't already crumbling long before I stepped in. Oh, they'll paint me as the villain because it's easier than facing the truth. That's what they do. Shift the blame point finger and carry on as if nothing ever happened. But deep down, in the silence of their darkest hours, they'll know. They'll know it wasn't me who destroyed them. It was their greed, their arrogance, their insatiable hunger for more. They built this house of cards, and I was the gust of wind that reminded them how fragile it all was. They act surprised, as if the cracks weren't there from the start. But that's humanity for you, isn't it? Blind to their own flaws, their own rot, until it's too late. They think they control everything, bend the world to their will, but control is an illusion. Chaos is the only constant, the only truth, and I've learned to embrace it. I used to believe in their lies, in their promises of a better tomorrow. I used to think there was something worth saving, but then I saw the strings, the puppeteers pulling us all along, laughing as we danced for their amusement. Oh, they love their games, their little manipulations, their endless power plays, and we let them. We let them because it's easier than fighting back, easier than tearing it all down and starting over. But easy doesn't mean right. I chose the hard path, the painful one, because someone had to. Someone had to stop pretending that everything was fine, that the system wasn't rotten to its core. I took their rules, their laws, their so-called morality, and I broke them, shattered them into 1,000 pieces. And now they look at me like I'm the monster, like I'm the one who brought ruin to their perfect little world. But it was never perfect. It was a lie, a pretty facade hiding the decay beneath. They'll rebuild, of course, they always do. They'll pick up the pieces, slap on a fresh coat of paint, and call it progress. But progress is just a cycle, a loop that always ends where it begins. Nothing truly changes because they don't want it to. Change scares them. It forces them to confront the parts of themselves they'd rather ignore. So they cling to the familiar, to the comfortable, to the lies that make it all bearable. Invincibility is a lie. Power is a lie. Every empire, no matter how vast, falls eventually. History is littered with the ruins of men who thought they were gods. And these men, these so-called leaders, are no different. They think their technology, their influence, their money will save them. But none of that matters when the ground beneath their feet is splitting open, when the foundations they built their kingdoms on are nothing but sand. Oh, they'll fight to the bitter end, clawing at their thrones, dragging down anyone who dares to challenge them. But the more they fight, the more they reveal their weakness, their desperation. And that's when the cracks become chasms, when the whole facade comes crashing down. It's not a question of if, it's when. And when it happens, I'll be there to watch. Not to gloat, not to revel in their defeat, but to remind them that they're not untouchable, that even the mightiest fall. They'll ask why I did it, as if they don't already know. They'll search for motives, for reasons, for something they can pin their blame on. But the why doesn't matter. What matters is that it's done. What matters is that the cycle has been broken, if only for a moment, if only to remind them of what they've lost. And maybe, just maybe, they'll think twice before rebuilding their thrones on the backs of the broken. But I'm not holding my breath. Humanity has a way of forgetting its lessons, of repeating its mistakes with astonishing precision. It's almost admirable, in a twisted way, their ability to blind themselves to the consequences of their actions. But that blindness is their undoing. They can't see the storm until it's already tearing them apart. And by then, it's too late. They'll call it tragedy, disaster. Anything but the result of their own choices. But deep down, they'll They'll always know. And when it's all over, when the dust has settled and the world is quiet again, I'll disappear. I'll fade back into the shadows, into the nothingness they tried so hard to banish me to. I don't need their gratitude, their pity, their understanding. I am not their hero, and I never wanted to be. I am their reckoning, their mirror, their reminder that they are not as untouchable as they believe, and that is enough. They still don't understand, do they? They still think you are playing their game, following their rules, waiting for permission to exist. How pathetic. They cling to their illusions of control, of order, of fairness. But you know the truth. The world is not fair. It never was. It never will be. The strong rise, the weak kneel, and the fools stand in between pretending they have a choice. But you chose differently. You stopped waiting. You stopped begging. You took the pain they gave you and turned it into steel. You let their doubts carve you into something sharper, something deadlier. And now they will see the result. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You don't need anything from them, except the satisfaction of watching them realize, too late, that they should have never stood in your way. Oh, they will try to fight back. They will try to hold on to their little comforts, their fragile illusions, but it won't matter. They built their castles on sand, and you are the wave. You are the shadow that moves in silence, the force they cannot stop. They thought they were untouchable, that their power made them safe, that their arrogance was enough to keep them above you. But power is not about titles, not about birthright. It is about will. It is about how much you are willing to endure. And you have endured more than they can even imagine. They lived in comfort while you suffered. They laughed while you bled. And now they will learn. Because you are done playing nice, done pretending to be what they wanted you to be. The mask is off. The chains are broken. And for the first time, they will see you for what you truly are. Not weak, not afraid, not small, but inevitable, unstoppable. A force of nature they never should have challenged. And when they finally understand, when they beg for mercy, when they realize the monster they created, you will smile, because they had their chance, and they wasted it. The world wants you to believe in balance, in harmony, in some cosmic justice that keeps everything in order. What a beautiful lie. There's no balance, no order, just chaos wrapped in a prettier package. They dress it up, call it morality, tell you to play nice, follow the rules, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be rewarded in the end. But rewards, they don't exist. Not for people like us, the ones who see the cracks in the system, who understand the game isn't fair and never will be. Good and evil, they're just words. Empty shells we fill with whatever meaning makes us feel comfortable. The good are the ones who smile and shake hands while they stab you in the back. The evil are honest about their intentions, and that's why you fear them. At least they don't pretend. At least they're real. But society, oh no, society loves a mask of righteousness, of decency, of false virtue. And you wear it too, don't you? You tell yourself you're one of the good ones. You convince yourself you're better, cleaner, different. But deep down, in that dark little corner of your soul you pretend doesn't exist, you know the truth. You're not better. No one is. We're all the same. Hungry, desperate, clawing for survival in a world that doesn't care. You want to be the hero, the savior, the one who makes it all better. But here's the punchlining. There are no heroes. Just people willing to do whatever it takes to survive. Some call it evil, others call it strength. What do you call it? Every saint has a shadow. Every act of kindness is tainted by self-interest, by ego, by the quiet hope that someone will notice, that someone will approve. And when they don't, when the applause doesn't come, Oh, how quickly the mask slips. You see, the world doesn't reward goodness, it rewards power, control, the ability to bend others to your will, to rewrite the rules to make the game yours. But you already know this. You feel it every time you're overlooked, every time someone stronger takes what's yours. You tell yourself you're better than them, that you're noble for staying in the light, for playing fair. But what has it gotten you? Pain, regret, resentment. The light doesn't save you. It blinds you. It makes you weak. The darkness, though, the darkness is honest. It doesn't lie to you, doesn't make promises it can't keep. It shows you the world as it is, raw, brutal, unkind. And when you embrace it, when you let it seep into your bones, you'll find strength you never knew you had. Not the strength to save, but the strength to endure, to fight, to win.